Say here I wanted to create a my workshop form, so something like that. Now before I go ahead, I want to save my work, so I'm going to click on the save button, and I want to save this as a template. The idea of the template is that when you create a new blank document, you can open the template and then you can make changes to it and then save the file with a new name, so that any changes you make doesn't affect the template, and then you can just email that file to somebody. So I'm going to click on the save button, and then I'm going to click on browse. Now in 2007 and 2010, usually this window pops up, the save as window, and you change the save as type from Word document, you change it to Word template, and then I'll give it a name. I'll just say my workshop form. I've got some other ones that I have created in the past, so you need to give it a name, and it saves the file in this folder called custom office templates automatically, which is under my documents, which is fine. I'll click save. So now the file has been saved. Now I want to start adding some content here, so let's see. So I'm just going to say that I want to collect people's first name, last name. I want to get their cell number or home number, whatever you wanted, their email address. I want their address. So I'm just trying to create like a sections, and then whatever information I want, I can just keep typing their headings. So I'll see province or state, postal code, country, and spelling mistake there, correct it. And then say I wanted to also choose sex, like are they male and female. For this I'm going to leave a blank because I want to put like a circle there where people can choose. And also say I wanted to ask them questions about what computer programs do you know. So, and I want to do it like that where people will be able to choose like a check mark. So I want to put Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, etc., etc. So now I'm just trying to start creating what my document should look like. Maybe I'm just going to hit enter here, and in the corner maybe I wanted to, or here I wanted to put a place where people can add their picture. So I'll just leave that spot empty for now. Now, what I want to do is start adding content holders where people will be able to type their first name and last name rather than just typing it on their own there. I want to tell them where to put it. So what you have to do is add a tab here on the top called a developer tab, which like the view, which will have all the buttons in it. So to add the tab, you click here where it says customize quick access toolbar, and then you go to more commands, and in here you go to customize ribbon, and in here on the right hand side you choose the check mark box for the developer tab, and then you click OK, and now you should have that. And this is same in 2007, 2010, and 2013 because you get all these controls that you can use to add them where you need it. So first, say I wanted to get them to put a picture there, and in the controls there is this button here called picture content control. You click it, it adds it. You can control the size of it if you want it, wherever you want it, and you can format the effects and things like that. Some positions you may be able to change, not all of them in here, so that this place people will be able to double click on it and they'll be able to add a picture. Now for the first name, I want to add a text content. So they have two ones. One is called a rich text and the other one is called a plain text. So I'll click rich text. Now if I wanted to make some changes to the wordings in here, then I have to click on the design mode, and then you see this is highlighted, and I can say enter first name here. I'll click here and I'll add the rich content again, and I can highlight this and I can say enter last name here. So wherever I need for them to add that, I can do it. Now if I wanted to make this look a little nicer, I can highlight it. I can go to the page layout, columns, and make it 2 columns. And if I wanted, I can highlight all of them, and I can go to home, and I can make it a bigger font size so that it looks a little nicer. My workshop form, I can make it even bigger size if I want. I can do that. So this way you'll keep adding whatever you need wherever you need it. Now say for the city, I want them to give them an option to pick one of the city from the list. There are 2 buttons you can use here. One is called a combo box and the other one is called a list content control. The difference is that in list, people have to pick whatever is in the list, so they cannot type whatever city they have in their mind. With combo box, they can choose one from the list, or they can type whatever they have in their mind. So I'll just add a combo box there, and you have to be in the design mode so that I can go to the properties of this box, and I'll just give it a title, city, and I'll add the item. So I'll click it and I'll say, what do I want to call it? So I'll just put Toronto. I'll put Atlanta. I can put New York, and I can put something else, Vancouver. And you can modify any of them again. I can click here and I can even remove this choose item so that that word won't be there, or I can modify that word to whatever I want it to be, and I can click OK. And say for example for the country, I'll practice with a list control, and I'll go to properties. I'll just put the word country there, and I'll add some values. So say USA, and I'll put Canada for example, and I'll click OK. So we'll see what happens when we actually finish this whole thing up. And for the sex, I want to up here add some circles. So in this button here, legacy tools, they have this option button. I click it, it adds it, and I want to change the wording on it. I can go to properties, and you'll get this section here, and you look for the caption. So I'll click in the line for caption, remove it, and then just put male, and I'll click at the end here, and I'll add another one of these circles, and I'll change the caption from option 2, I'll change it to female, and I can close this window. Now for this Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, what I want to do is I want them to have like a checkbox. So they have this button, checkbox content, and I click it, and you see it's added. I'll click here, space, and I can add control check mark, so people can just put a check mark in it, and I can highlight them, go to page layout, and I can make it 2 content columns, so it looks a little nicer. I can do the same thing with city and province, columns 2, and also with country, postal code and country, I'll do columns 2. Now you can put the rich text controls wherever you want it. I'm just not doing it to save some time. But if you wanted to put lines anywhere, you can just go to Insert, Shapes, choose the line button, click it one time, let go of your mouse, and then wherever you wanted a line, you just draw it. So say underneath email, I wanted a line. So I just point there. Hold the shift key before you click on the left click on the mouse, because by holding the shift key, your line will be very straight. So I'll just line up nicely, hold the shift key down, left click on the mouse, and then drag it. And then you get the format tools for it, so you can change the shape styles and the lines, and you can have different effects on it, the weight, what thickness do you want the line to be. and you can always hit the delete button on the keyboard to delete it. So you can add these lines wherever you want. You can even click on any of the boxes and you can make it underline or bold, so when they type it will be underlined. So I'll just do that here in that way. And I forgot to mention one more thing, which is I'm just going to click here, hit enter, and say I wanted to add a box here for today's date. So I wanted a box here where people can choose the date. So in the developer tab they have a button called date picker. So I click it, it's added. I can go to the properties for this because it's already clicked on it. I'm in the design mode, and now I can choose that. I'll say, you know what, show me the date like this, and I can even get a title there. And there are some features for all the properties, like you can choose and say that content cannot be edited. That means people won't be able to make any changes in there. They will be able to print it but not type in it. Or you can say content cannot be deleted. So people cannot delete that section. They have to use it. And also you can use this remove content control when contents are edited. So like once somebody enters something in there, you won't see the controls around it, kind of a thing. So those are nice feature, and I can highlight it and increase the fonts to 14. So that's a nice way to add date picker for date of birth and things. And again, you can type whatever wordings you want in there as you needed it. Now one of the last steps that I want to do is I want to group them together so that nobody can make any changes to it. That is, they cannot click here in the middle and start adding their own words. So to do this, I go to home, select, and then choose select all, and in the developer tab I'll go to group and I'll choose to group it. So this whole section has become one group, so nobody can just go around start messing with it. And if you wanted to restrict editing your template so nobody makes changes to it, from the developer tab you can use restrict editing, and then you can choose to allow only this type of editing and choose filling in forms, so at least people can fill in the forms. And then you can choose start enforcing protection, and then you can put a password here so that anybody trying to make change to your template, they will need to provide a password, and then you click OK, and now the restrictions have been set. Now that it has been grouped together, you can even turn off the design mode so you can see what it will look like. And you see that underline showed up there, the line is there. People will be able to type anything there. Choosing an items there. And I can save my work. And I'm gonna close this. So I'm gonna close this template. And what I want to do is I want to go to File and then New. So in 2007 you'll be clicking on the Office button and then choose New. Now in 2007 and 2010, right underneath on the left hand side you see an option called blank document, I believe, and underneath it you'll see templates. And there you see all your templates listed. In my case, I have this option here called featured and personal. So I click on personal, and here are some of the templates I have in that templates folder, and I'll go to this my workshop form. I'll double click on it. So because this is based on a template, you see it says document on the top. It doesn't say the name of the template because I can save this file before even I do something, so I can email it to people for them to fill up, or I can save this so I can put it on the website so people can download it, or and you can just start making changes here. So I can choose a date, I can double click here and then browse to go to where my pictures are and add one there. I can click here and I can start typing my first name. I can click here and I can start typing my last name. And if I wanted to choose the city, I can choose one from here. Or because this is the combo box, I can type something else in its place. I can do that there. Up here I have to choose it from the list, because if I try to type my own list here, If I try to type something else, it will not let me do that because this is a list control box. You can choose male or female, and you see it switches, and then people can also put like a check mark in the boxes here if they wanted it. Now this form is ready to be printed or saved and then emailed to you. And before I end, I want to go back to the File New option. And in the new, in 2007 and 2010, I believe on the left hand side, you'll see a whole bunch of sections at the bottom where they have templates, and you'll see forms listed here. Go to forms, and then you'll see lots of forms. So I'm just going to, in my case, I'm going to do a search here for form. And you'll find that they already have lots of templates created. So patient registration form, donation pledge form, medical phone consultations. So they have lots of forms already created that you can actually just download, and you can then start filling up the information and changing the wordings that you need. So let's say, for example, this patient registration form, I can double click on it. It's downloading from the internet, and you see here it is. So what they've done is they've actually used tables, and in the tables they've added cells so they can fill in this information nicely. So now you can see how you can actually create this, and all you need to do is start modifying this, and then you can make changes to this. And also the other thing I want to point out here is if I click here and I start to type something, it is locked because we had grouped them, so people cannot make any changes to this. And the same thing here, you cannot make any changes to the things easily. I think it's allowing me here. But if you wanted to make changes, you'll have to go to the developer tab, turn on the design mode, and now you can go in and you can start removing things and changing the wordings from the design mode to the actual content controls. Because if you don't turn on the design mode, you will not be able to make changes to this if you are not in the design mode.